Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Neville. Firstly, let me ask you something. Have you ever been building something? A goal, a business, a relationship, a version of yourself, and things were actually going quite well. And then suddenly something shifts. Not dramatically, not explosively, just enough that something changes. Maybe you can't even name what shifted. But suddenly you're not building anymore. You're calculating, racing, knuckling down, even scrambling, trying to hold it together. That's the shift. What shifted? Your energy flow state shifted. That's what we call instability. Now, here's the question I want you to embrace for a moment. Can you remember what it was that destabilized you the last time you were trying to achieve something important to you? Hold that question in your mind. After this video, I want you to think about that deeply. Think of a time when things were moving forward and then something happened that you didn't even see coming. Something that changed your internal state. Something that threw you off balance. And ask yourself, if you had better tools for that moment, would you have used them? If you had known what was happening internally, would you have responded differently? Because that's the difference. Most people react, very few respond. When pressure hits, we want it gone, fast. Solve it quickly, fix it immediately, get back to normal. And not entirely wrong to want that, but here's the trap we can fall into. Pressure changes perception. It narrows thinking, speeds decisions, tightens the body, and distorts judgment. When that happens, we don't build anymore. We spiral all the way down to survival mode if we are not careful. Take a moment to reflect on your own recent situation before we continue, and leave a comment if this is relating in a helpful way with no personal details, please. Now, this isn't about blaming anyone. It's not about pointing fingers. It's not about saying the world is against me or catastrophizing. This is about awareness. Why? Because someone under pressure is easier to destabilize than someone who understands what pressure is doing to them. So the real work isn't fighting pressure, it's recognizing it. And this is where we start naming what we recognize so that we can start taming what we recognize. Name it to tame it. We will explore this more in the next video for sure. But let me give you an example. Imagine someone trying to build a business. They don't have much capital. They don't have runway. They don't have support. They're trying to make something work without cushion. Most people assume exists. It's just not there. Outside they think they've got it all together, but this person is not necessarily as people perceive. Okay, and they're trying their best. You're familiar with the phrase, starting from scratch, right? Then deadlines approach. Bills arrive, energy drops, and pressure builds. Now, had they fully understood how critical capital was before they started, maybe they would have structured things differently, maybe not. But awareness would have changed the way they responded to the pressure. Let me make this distinction. Without awareness, you spiral. With awareness, you pause. Just pause. And that pause is everything. It stops the spiral. Because most spirals don't begin with catastrophe. They begin with instability. In most cases, the key to success is stability. A small destabilizing event, an unforeseen variable, a pressure point that you didn't anticipate, and suddenly you're thinking, what just happened? That happens more often than we want to admit. You get so far and then it collapses. Again, the cycle repeats. Build, destabilize, spiral, recover. Start again. I want to know how many of you know this well. I'm describing here. Know this well what I'm describing here. Leave a comment. Again, leave out any detail that may compromise privacy, but let us build something here. A collective would be a good place to start. Why? Because this channel exists to break that cycle I just described. Not through motivation, not through hype, not through blame, that's for sure. Through awareness. We will use awareness as a tool. When you understand what destabilizes you, when you understand how pressure affects your thinking, when you learn to delay instead of react, you stop spiraling. You start responding. And that changes everything. This is what Lift the Veil is about. Seeing clearly, taking back control. Recognizing instability before it takes you down, developing the tools to stay steady when things shift. Absolutely. Because instability is unavoidable most of the time. But not always. But even instability can be recovered from very quickly if we prevent spiraling. If you've experienced that cycle, if you've felt yourself get so close and then lose momentum, if you've ever wondered why it keeps happening, I know I did, you're in the right place. We're not here to blame. We're not here to escape. We're here to understand. You build differently. Stay with me, hit the subscribe button, and let's unpack more tools in the next video. Thanks for watching.